Good.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that got missed on there.
These are the steps to follow the in-cab of the CDL for your third-party tester. I'm going to apply the seatbelt, lock it, it's latched, unlock it again just to make sure it's secured. It's secured to the seat and to the cab of the vehicle. There's no cuts or frays to my seatbelt. The next thing is three emergency equipment that's to this vehicle. The first one is emergency fire extinguisher secured to the floor. It's in the green, fully charged. It's on the driver's side. We have three bi-directionals that are secured on the passenger side. We've moved them out so you can see them. The third thing is a master circuit breaker. It's underneath the hood. It's designed if you have electrical failure. It shuts the engine down and the lights. If you're going down the road, pull it off in a safely manner, secure it off the road, and then turn the key off after you secured it, set the park brake, turn the key off, wait 30 seconds, turn the key back on. It's designed to reset itself so you can start it up and use the lights. If it doesn't, try that attempt 2 more times. If it still doesn't reset itself, set the bi-directional triangles out and call dispatch and tell them your emergency. The next thing I'm going to do a safe start. Depress the clutch, foot on the brake. There's no obstruction to my pedals, no pop cans or bottles. Vehicle's in neutral, park brake is set, trailer protection valve is in. That means the brakes are off the trailer. It means they're not on. I'm going to start it up. Going to call off the oil pressure within 5 seconds. Make sure it's climbing. Oil pressure is climbing. Next step I'm going to do is check my left mirror, my right mirror. They're adjusted for me. There's no cracks or discoloration in the mirrors. I'm going to check the driver's side window, the windshield itself, and the passenger side window and the back window. Make sure there's no cracks or discoloration. On the front windshield, it can have no crack bigger than the size of a dime. The next step is the steering wheel. I can't have no more. It's a 20-inch wheel, 10% in either direction, which is 2 inches, and the steering wheel is secured and it's nice and tight. Horn is reliable and adequate. Now I'm going to turn on my left turn signal, directional, and it's working properly. The right turn signal, it's working properly. 4 ways, both are working properly. Disengage, put on my bright light indicator. Make sure my bright light indicator is working, and it is. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cup the dash, make sure my instrument panel lights are working, so if I drive it at night, I can see the gauges. Next thing I'm going to do is talk about the gauges. Normal operating range for the water temperature is between 180 and 210 degrees Fahrenheit. My oil pressure gauge between 20 and 60 psi, and my volt gauge is between 12 and 14. It's in range. All 3 gauges are in range. My air pressure gauge, normal operating range, is between 90 and 120. It's at 120. Half that is 60 psi. That's when I should have a warning light and a buzzer, and we'll check that further in the audit. Next thing I'm going to do is check my windshield wipers. Make sure they're working properly. Put a little bit of fluid on the wipers, on the windshield. A clean swipe means proper tension on the wipers. I have a fan. It's got 4 stages. Check all 4 stages. I'm going to turn on the defrost, make sure the defrost is working. The heater, make sure the air is coming out at my feet. And check the vent. Make sure that's working. Everything's working properly. Next step I'm going to do is check the park brake. Make sure the park brake is working properly for the tractor. That means that the red button, which is the trailer protection valve, is pushed in, the brakes are released, and the tractor protection valve is yellow and it's out, and that means the brakes are set on the drive axle of the tractor. I'm going to release the clutch slowly. My foot is on the brake but not applying the brake. I'm just covering the brake, and it did not move. The brakes are adjusted properly. Next step I'm going to do is push in the tractor protection valve. The trailer is already pushed in. That means there's no brakes on the unit other than my service brake. I'm going to go 10 feet, and I'm going to check the service brake on the unit. 10 feet, apply the brake stopped the vehicle, and the steering wheel didn't go in either direction. It means the brakes are adjusted properly. I'm going to put it in neutral. The next thing I'm going to do is turn the vehicle off. I'm just going to wait a second. Turn the key back on. And I have an ABS light for the tractor and the trailer, and they both came on, they both went off, so that system is working correctly. My foot is applied to the brake. Now I'm going to do an air loss check. For a combination unit, for 1 minute, you can't have no more than 4 psi in 1 minute. The 1 minute will start now. and you're just making sure you got proper tension to the brake. Don't release it. If you release it, you'll release air. So just proper pressure on the brake pedal, and we'll check it for 1 minute. One minute's up, and I did not have a loss of more than 4 psi in the 1 minute. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to check the air loss system, the next phase, which is fanning the brakes to make sure the warning light and the buzzer appears. Normal operates between 90 and 120. Half that is 60 psi. When I start fanning the brakes, I should have a warning light and a buzzer appear before 60 psi. I'm going to start fanning the brakes. There's my warning light and buzzer. There's my light and my buzzer, and it came on before 60 psi. The next phase is going to check to see if these trailer and tractor protection valves pop in sequence between 20 and 40 psi. I'm going to keep fanning my brakes. Both buttons pop. You can see the silver lining around. I'll verify they're both out. They popped at 30 psi. The system is working correctly. That's it.